Hi everyone, welcome to Northeast Living. I'm Mark Jennings, your host. I'm coming to you from Salco Farm in Southport, Connecticut. And boy, do I love horses and horseback riding. When I was a child, I would ride with my mom all the time. That is, until she was diagnosed with a tumor. She's okay right now, but did you know in Hartford, there's a pair of doctors that are using a familiar technology to create a new procedure that helps locate tumors. So we sent over Elaine to find out more. Take a look.
We've all heard about using GPS in our cars or using GPS on our phones, but have you ever heard about using GPS for a surgery? Well, I'm excited because today we're going to be learning all about a new technology. We're at St. Francis Hospital and a couple doctors are going to be teaching us about this new technology. So it's time to get our scrubs on.
Dr. Girardi and Dr. Thayer are using a new GPS device. It's called the iLogic system by Superdimension to identify tumors in the area of the lungs they couldn't reach before. They explained to me how this device is saving lives.
This is a regular bronchoscope, one we've used for many years. The visualization is carried through the fiber optic cables into the TV screen, which we then watch it on the TV screen.
Is that where the camera is?
Yes, that's correct. This one is much smaller, is part of our GPS system, and it's steerable, so we can move it back and forth and direct it in the direction that we want it to move. So this one goes inside this one, so then we can direct it outward into the lung and steer it.
Wow, so it comes out the end of the camera.
That's correct, and we can steer it in whatever direction we choose, and we're following the pre-planned pathway that Dr. Girardi previously mentioned.
Is it kind of like your car GPS or your phone GPS?
Yes, it is. This technology provides us with a three-dimensional GPS, if you will, within the lung using a computer and a high-resolution CAT scan with an electromagnetic field which we place over the patient's chest and navigate directly to a spot in the lung which we've identified may be a tumor.
It looks like a video game.
It is. This is a screen that we would see in the operating room. Sometimes we can do some additional slices, but you have a CAT scan imaging and a three-dimensional program of the bronchial tree. And this is one of the secrets to the device, where it gives us a very specific guidance to tiny airways which we're not able to see. And we can follow the guidance to some degree to help us to get to where we need to be in the lung. This is an overall sort of three-dimensional view of the bronchial tree. If you can imagine the lungs on either side, this is the windpipe, a target lesion which was identified, and the purple pathway is our guidance pathway that's been programmed to get us to the area in question.
It's very hard to cure lung cancer, so the earlier we can get to these patients, the better chance we have.
Technology is impressive, but it's even more impressive when it's used to save lives. And St. Francis Hospital prides themselves on staying up with the newest technology. For more information, visit their website.
Today's kitchens are bigger than ever, but what if you have a small kitchen space? How do you take your small kitchen and give it a big impact? Well, you'll be surprised that it's a lot easier than you think. Let's start with counter space. Counter space is an important part of your real estate when it comes to any great kitchen design. It's important to only have out what you need and when you use it. Also, if you are going to have things on your counter, consider putting them on a tray. A tray allows you to move it out quickly and move it back just as quickly as pulling it out. Also, yesterday's TV are obsolete. Today, the internet is so easy and accessible on any kind of devices. This allows you to have internet access to watch any shows or also look up any wonderful recipes. Let's talk about cabinet space. Well, the key to having great cabinet space is maximizing your cabinet space. So, shelvings can be added for that added bonus. Also, stackable bowls are also a wonderful idea. This maximizes your space and also still gives you plenty of services to use. Now, if you think that's a great idea, I have even more. Cutting boards come in a variety of different sizes. Find an extra large cutting board and put it over a sink. That gives you that much needed added space when you're in a pinch. Now, if you think those are great ideas, I'm not done yet. So instead of an eat-in kitchen, I've created a sitting area. This sitting area allows my guests to also be part of my conversation to them while I'm preparing a meal. I added a wonderful table for drinks and hors d'oeuvres. I defined the space with a great area carpet. So this space is a total home run. Now, remember those old armoires? Well, many people are no longer using them for their television. But here's a great idea. I use it in the kitchen. They're perfect because they're nice and deep and allows you the opportunity to store all your stemware, your china, plates, and even appliances. It's tucked away, it's decorative, and functional. So, you might not have a big kitchen space, but you can have some big ideas.
Here at Teach Art to Me, one of the things that you'll find is that we're different from any other art school because we're developmentally based. Our developmentally based programs allow us to reach every child, not just that specifically gifted child or the child that's that art kid. We're going to reach the soccer kid, the stay-at-home child, really anybody, because we're not looking for the next great artist. We're looking for an experience from the children.
I think what I love most about working with the kids is seeing their different types of creativity and how, say, one kid is really strong in painting, another kid is really strong in drawing. Seeing how they feed off of each other and really give each other ideas and work towards their composition together without realizing it.
I came here 2 years ago as a pottery student. I loved the environment, so I became a volunteer here, and I learned so much that this year I became part of the staff. And so from what I learned in the previous 2 years, I was able to help other kids.
We also do a lot of children's entertainment. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being so multifaceted, that we are sort of a jack of all trades when it comes to creativity in the visual arts. We can go out into the community and do very large events, or we can have a private lesson with just one child and do all of those things equally.
I think it's great that Teach Art to Me allows us to be part of such great community events such as Riverfest. Riverfront Recaptured does a lot of fantastic events for the kids in the community. We do face painting and a whole bunch of fun things. I think what I enjoy most is learning how each child learns differently and adapting my lesson plan to the way each child absorbs it.
What a worthwhile program that the kids really like. We're going to take a short break, but before we do, I have this week's fun trivia question for you. Where was the first car wash located? I'll have the answer for you when we come back. Welcome back to Northeast Living. So, do you know where the first car wash was located? Well, it was Detroit, and it opened in 1946. But you don't have to go all the way to Detroit to get a great car wash. So we sent over Elaine to learn more. Take a look.
Because of the economy today, people are keeping their cars a lot longer, and Mother Nature can take a toll on your vehicle. So regular maintenance is very important. We're at the Personal Touch Car Wash, and they're going to show us how to take care of our car. Wow, Vinny, great to meet you. What a great place. So this is really full service.
Yeah, you come in with a dirty car, drop it off to us. We'll vacuum it, send it through the tunnel. You get a clean car, we towel dry it and clean the windows.
So how long does it take for the cars to come through the wash?
About 5 minutes or less.
So you have several different car washes around, right? And some of them do oil changes and some of them don't?
Yeah, we've got 7 different car washes. We've got a couple full service like this, where we wash the windows and do the vacuuming, do a towel dry. And then we've got some express washes where you just come in and out in 3 minutes or less. We also have a couple with oil changes.
Now we know nowadays it's like the salt and the sand and everything, it corrodes your car. So it creates rust and stuff. What can somebody do to prevent it?
They put the salt on, I think, 48 hours before a storm, 24 to 48 hours before the storm. So your car is getting a lot of salt on it before the storm, during the storm, after the storm. So just regular washing throughout the winter is good. The salt is very corrosive. And not only on the underbody, but the brake lines, the paint, the windows, everything.
And the spray that's underneath, what does that spray do? Is it just gets all the muck off?
Yeah, it's a high pressure jet set with a chemical that cleanses the bottom of the car.
Fantastic. It's my brother's birthday. He's gonna love this. They give you a nice hot cup of coffee while you wait. That's pretty cool.
Elaine, your car's all set.
Oh wow, now that was quick. So don't forget, take care of your car because it'll take care of you. For more information or locations for a personal touch car wash in your area, visit their website.
The Hartford Marathon Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. We were founded in 1994. I've been running the Marathon Foundation since my children were 6 and 2, and now they're 25 and 21. And they've been involved since I started. And my background is actually I'm from the restaurant business, and I was a chef and restaurant manager, and I was a sommelier. I was in the wine business, so I have a different background. You know, I dealt with fine foods and wines, and now I deal with power bars and Gatorade. At the time I was running, I had created the Hartford Restaurant Association, which was just an association of the downtown Hartford restaurants to market and promote themselves. And an event came to town called the Bud Light Triathlon Series, and they needed a local race director. And they hired me as just a part-time position to manage this event. I was interested because I was an athlete and I thought it sounded fun. This was back in 1990. And that event lasted 2 years and I just loved it. It was completely different than cooking with lots of cream and butter and late nights and everything that goes into the restaurant business. So after that event actually went out of business, the company that owned it went out of business, and I thought, we can't let this go. It was too good for Hartford. I had a ball. I had a database of 1,000 volunteers who had helped. I said, we have to keep something going. And that's when I decided to create at that time it was the Hartford Marathon, and created that, and lots of the volunteers came back to support me in doing that, and that's how it got started. I did reach a point where I said, I don't want to be cooking and eating like this and cooking for people the way that we cooked back then. I was happy to go into an industry that was all about health and fitness, and it's just people in this industry, or people who do run or come out and are conscious of their health, are optimistic people. They have lots of positive energy, highly energetic people.
The weather outside is getting frightful, but yet the birds outside are still so delightful. Don't you want to help them out during the long winter months? Well, go ahead and feed them, because their food source right now is becoming so sparse. Whether you buy a bird feeder or you create one, I have a marvelously simple project that you can create. What you're going to need is a drill and a birch log. Now I have a variety here, and the reason why I like to use birch is because it's very natural and organic, and it blends in beautifully into the environment. You're going to need 4 cups of birdseed, a jar of peanut butter, a 1.5-inch drill bit, and some smaller ones as well, some eye hooks, and some round dowels, which I've cut down to about 2 inches, which is perfect for the birds to perch on. Let me start by clearing off my table. You begin by drilling 1.5-inch holes into your birch logs. You want to take it from one side, working your way down, and then alternating on the other side. You want to pre-drill a hole on top for your eye hook. This allows you to hang this from a tree in your garden. The last hole accommodates the round dowels, creating a wonderful perch for them. Now let's make their yummy treat. Let's take 4 cups of birdseed and put it into a bowl and 1 jar of peanut butter. And you're going to mix it all together into a really great pasty consistency. Once you have the right consistency, I like to put on some gloves. Now you want to create small little 1-inch balls. It'll be very easy to do. Now, taking your new bird feeder, you're going to take those individual balls and pop them right into each of the holes. And you're done. All you have to do now is find a nice secure branch that you can hang it on. Enjoy the winter months with your feathered friends not far away from the beauty of Mother Earth. It's great because you provide them plenty of food to enjoy for the season.
So it's time for us to open up our hearts and help those in need. That's where Stitching for Shelters comes in. They could use our help to collect yarn and maybe even knit something for them. Jackie started Stitching for Shelters so she could make a difference in other people's lives. As she explained to me how it started, she also showed me how to make a scarf.
The program started about 5 years ago with a delivery of 37 hats to a local church. We asked ladies, friends, and volunteers to knit hats, scarves, mittens, baby booties, baby blankets, and those are delivered to different shelters.
And hospitals too, I see.
The cancer units we also do, and we do the NICU units for little baby hats, preemie hats and such. We definitely need volunteers. Right now that's probably the most important for us because the need is so great. Secondly, we need donations of yarn. And we do hand out hats singly, but we like to have these scarves as well to keep everybody warm. So that would be our biggest thing right now, solid colored scarves if anybody's willing to make them.
Janet is Jackie's good friend and she helps her with pretty much everything. And she makes it easy for the volunteers.
If somebody wants to offer their time to make a scarf or a hat, how would they do it? They would do it from home and you would pick it up?
That's exactly it. We're always happy to go and pick up the finished products, or if they had yarn they wanted to donate, we would also pick that up too.
They have a lot of volunteers all over New England, but they still need a lot of hands to help out, and it doesn't matter where you live.
Most of them do it from home or within small groups of their own.
And it's not hard. It's actually really easy. No. Now, you mentioned to me that no money changes hands in this.
Exactly.
Explain that to me.
Exactly. This is purely by donation. First yarn that we get, and then finished products are donated. We do not accept money at all.
Irene is also a volunteer and she makes hats for more than just shelters.
These are for our military guys overseas?
Yes. The nights are very cold, so they wear them for sleeping.
And you're doing the scarves, and I love these. This is beautiful. I like the multicolors. Why do you do this?
We like to take care of our community. We like to take care of our own, and it's a way of you as a person or as a group to be able to give back.
Look at all the stuff I made in only 2 hours. Okay, maybe not, but I am on my 3rd row here. If you want to donate some yarn or your time to make some of these beautiful hats and booties, email them for more information.
Don't go away. We'll have more Northeast Living when we come back. Welcome back to Northeast Living. Well, we might not have a lot of snow outside, but it sure has been cold out. And when it's cold, I know exactly the right place to visit, and so does he, to get nice and warm. Take a look. St. John's, St. Croix, and St. Thomas are all a hop, skip, and a jump from the United States. And that is because it is part of the United States. I'm here with the Commissioner of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Beverly, and I'm so excited to learn all about the islands.
Well, Mar, it's because we are your island.
Yes,
you know, 3.5 hours, you could go from city life to beachfront. I mean, how much better can it get?
It can't, and I'm dying to learn all about it. So let's sit down, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about the surrounding islands.
Well, we have St. Croix, which is wonderful history and culture. I mean, if you really want to come to an island and feel the people, feel the culture, you got to go to St. Croix. St. John is an ecotourism paradise. I mean, with 2/3 of the island is a national park. And St. Thomas, I mean, that's just the action-filled island, water sports, shopping, $1,600 duty-free.
And what's wonderful about it is that it is one of those destinations that you don't have to plan far ahead. You can just simply say, you know what, next weekend, this weekend, let's go to one of the islands.
That's correct, because you have so many convenient flights with American Airlines, U.S. Airways, JetBlue just started coming to the Virgin Islands. You don't need a passport. I mean, so it just makes that planning so much easier.
And let's talk a little bit about the different things that you can do while you're there. We think of islands and it's very romantic, but as a single guy or even a family, it's a great place to go because there's a lot to do, right?
Well, you know, let's just talk about the water because so much is dependent on the water around us, and there's just so many water sports activities. I've heard of generational families coming down, learning to scuba dive, I mean, learning to sail, or just sitting on the beach with the family. I mean, building a sandcastle together. So, you know, there's so many things to do. Shopping, you know, history and culture. If you want to take in a museum or two, there's just so many things to do in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
And what's wonderful about it is that there are a lot of different price points. So you can go to the extreme of luxury, or you can even be camping, right?
That's
Let's talk about that.
Camping, a bed and breakfast, right up to a private villa. We've had several presidents come and stayed in several private villas, and also yachting vacations. So, and that way you can see all the islands. So there's just so many price points and value.
So Beverly, I just met you, but yet I feel like I've known you my entire life. I'm gonna pack my bags and meet you there, and I hope to meet you there as well. I'm so looking forward to that trip. And there you have it. On behalf of everyone here, including Gus, thanks so much for watching. And make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you think. Until next time, I'm Mark Jennings. Goodbye, everyone.